Um, we're gonna. So what we're gonna do is here. I want to tell everybody that we to respect each other. Let everybody finish their sentences, not breaking in and try to argue or something. We're here to just to tell people what how we stand in Washington D.C. What happened when you guys, Mike and CJ, went inside. What you talked about? Because a lot of people still don't understand what exactly we fight for, what exactly happened in there. Like all the details. You can tell us as much as you can, and then we got some questions. All of us have some questions we would like to get some answers for the future. What's going to happen and on and on and on. So Mike and CJ, whoever wants to start, and just tell people exactly what we were standing for when you went to White House. What did you present from trucking people? What did you told them? How they responded? All this stuff.
Sounds like a plan.
Hello?
Serge is there. You go. Serge, I think your internet is slow. There you go.
Is it better now?
Yes, we can hear. Did you heard what I said?
No, sorry. Can you repeat yourself, please?
Yeah. So we're gonna explain to everybody who's watching us. What happened in Washington D.C. What we fight for, and when you guys went inside the White House, you and Mike, how the conversation went through. What exactly you told to the Mark Meadows and FMCSA, the Mullion guy, and how they respond. All this information, so people don't have to stay around you and try to get some answers from you. It's easier when small group and you can explain to everybody, and they're gonna watch the video and understand exactly what we fight, what we won, what what we got off of that protest. And so we respect each other. We're not gonna try to argue with anybody. So we'll try to listen each one of you separately so you can finish your sentences.
Sounds good. So first of all, if you may introduce to everyone, including myself, who do we have online? Who's here in the chat?
So we got Vladimir on the left. I don't know where you guys at, but Vladimir, he's the guy was feeding us. You know him. He was there from day one all the way to the last day.
AKA Batyushka, da?
Yes. Then Charles, he was there with us about a week or a little more than that. He was helping us to communicate, when we had the language barrier between different culture people. So he was helping us to stay in touch and understand each other, that we're not trying to hide one information from one group.
Yeah, Charles is a great guy.
Yes. Then the Mike, he was a leader of, he got union.
USDA.
I guess union, right, Mike? You can call it union, United States Transportation
USDA.
Alliance, yeah.
Yeah, so he represents more people who speaks English. We can put it that way, right? But the biggest problem we had there and we have right now, it's the language barrier. So it's easier when you have a guy represent their own group, their own language. Like the TJ, he speaks Russian, he speaks Ukrainian. He represents more our group, because not everybody speaks English, so it's easier. He understands English and he can translate to the guys who don't understand English. Mike was probably doing the same thing. Whatever we can tell, whatever happens in our group, we explain to Mike. Mike can translate to other people. So we're like working together. Yanni, his wife Claudia was there, also helping guys. I believe you guys did help some people to pay for the fuel, if I'm not mistaken, right? For some of the drivers, so they didn't have money to pay for the fuel to come to Washington D.C. Helped them as well, and he was also at presenting in Washington D.C. trying to fight with us, for transparency and against the brokers, against all this issue we have, low rates and money gouging. So this is the people we have right now. The people we have watching us, about 377 people. I don't know who they are, but so and we have chat like our Russian or Ukrainian, European people, we have a chat on Viber where we talk. Like I said, language barrier. It's easier for us when we speak in our language, and they're gonna ask questions as well. And if anybody here from Washington D.C. they're watching this video, they can also write a comment on the chat, and we can try to get the question to you guys, to Mike or to Serge, so you can answer any questions we have. So Serge or Mike can go ahead and then
I'll go ahead and start. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for staying united. And without you guys, there would be no mission accomplished. In a way, we have a mission that was accomplished. Also, I would like to thank Rick Santiago for starting this price gouging, and happy birthday to you, Rick. Today's actually his birthday. I want to thank him and happy birthday to him. And then Mike, you can pick it up from here.
Yeah, like CJ said, pointing out that Rick started this. I've seen a lot of stuff since we've been back about how who should get credit, who started it, who whatever. And my personal opinion behind it is this: there's a lot of people before us that have been fighting things in this industry, maybe not price gouging or brokers in specific, but just issues. And I think we all know we have a lot of issues in this industry that us little guys don't get to voice our opinions about to the people that really matter. And, there's been a lot of people involved before. There's going to be a lot of people involved after, hopefully. And hopefully this helps get more people involved. For me personally, I really didn't think that this whole thing was going to go very far. This is the fourth time really I've been involved in a protest type thing with trucks, and the third one in DC. And you get maybe 50 trucks, 70 trucks if you're lucky at a time. And I always felt that everyone I was involved in was about rules and regulations and government overreach and such. And I always said, till people get hurt in the pocket, it really isn't probably going to garner a whole lot of people. So I didn't see this going very far. And to be honest with you guys, it's not something that my organization has really looked at fighting. We know about brokers. We all complain and know what they do. But it was always something that we never really looked at. We were more focused on, like I said, the rules, regulations, driver training, government overreach, and such like that, and trying to give a voice for us as drivers and small trucking companies. So I didn't really think it was going to go very far, but like CJ said, kudos to Rick for getting people together and bringing them down, because it did. Obviously, you guys that were there seen it. It got huge, and for me, that was awesome for me personally to see, because like I said, I've been involved in this stuff before, and it's kind of disheartening to see how many people seem like they don't really care and don't show up. So it was awesome to see everybody show up. For me, I showed up because I created an organization with a couple other drivers to stand up for people like ourselves. Because when I've been involved in this in the past, obviously ATA is usually against us. OOIDA won't stand with us, even though they say, "Oh, we support you," but they won't show up, which we've all seen for the last 3 weeks. So that was the whole reason I created what we did, was to stand with drivers. And I after being called and asked to come down that Friday, I had work to do, but I had people cover my work for me, and I came down because I felt like I'd be the biggest hypocrite in the world had I not showed up to stand with my fellow drivers, whether it was an issue that I've worked on or looked at in the past or not. It made sense to me. So I showed up, but I wanted to come down and just kind of see what was going on and help educate people on the things that I knew from being in trucking for as long as I have, and also on the other things that I've worked on as far as rules and regulations, and that's important too. And I didn't come down looking to be a leader. I didn't come down looking for anything. Most people didn't even know I showed up. I just kind of mingled for a while and got to know people. And like David said, the language barrier was tough for the first couple days. And actually, me and David and Charles actually worked through something with that language barrier. And Charles struck one day to where it was able to help me understand something that, because of the language barrier, I interpreted a different way and was kind of against at first. And then once I understood where they were coming from, I got it. And me and CJ the same way. And I'm glad we did. And although I may not have showed up because that was a big issue to me, and I had other things I was talking about when I first got there, I was able to see how important it was to other people. And I knew it's an issue, but able to see how much it was passionate, or, you know, a passion for other people that were there, and see where we could go with it. And I got to know CJ, seen what he was working on behind the scenes, that a lot of people don't know about. And, you know, I think God just put everything in place the way it was supposed to be. Everyone showed up to do what they had to do. Like I said, Charles was there, helped us work the language barrier. People from the outside that weren't there were, you know, helping donate money for food and stuff like that. There was people on the outside that were, you know, helping get letters written. There was lawyers involved, thanks to CJ and stuff like that. And you got to look at the bigger picture when you're involved in something like this. And, you know, this was brought up to me after the fact. Well, why didn't you talk about this? Or why didn't you talk about that? You know, for me, when I got involved in this, the biggest thing was trying to get to the right people to have our voices heard and our concerns expressed. Now, everybody has different concerns, like I said earlier, in this industry, but sometimes you got to use what's working. Just because it's not the nearest and dearest thing to your own heart doesn't mean that it's wrong or that it's not a good stepping stone. And quite frankly, that's where I, you know, was asking me this when I kind of swayed from my normal message to what we did down there. And it's because I seen a bigger picture. I seen that as the end to opening this, you know, proverbial door to the White House and being able to talk to the right people we need to talk to for the future, not just this issue, but the future. And I think that's what is supposed to happen when you get everyone together and good people can come together and work. And it wasn't, I really didn't have much to do with this. I just showed up to be there to help support, and you know, got pushed out to talk, and I'm happy to do it. That's part of what part of the reason I helped create what I've created. So that was good for me. But if it wasn't for everyone else showing up, whether you were there for the whole thing, you were there for part of it, or you never showed up but did things to support from the outside, everybody played their part in a way. And I think everybody deserves a bit of thanks for it. So the thing is we did make history. Me and CJ even had differences when we got there of opinions on certain things, and we worked through those for the bigger picture, just like we tried to explain to everybody else. And I'm super happy with how everything worked out. And I think we have an awesome shot at the future and helping change this industry for the best for those of us that drive and have small companies.
Okay.
You got something to say as well? Can you guys still explain how exactly your conversation was in the White House? What did you present from a trucking industry to the White House? What did you ask them to fix,
Sure.
You know?
So when we went into the White House, we basically came up with an agenda that catered to the majority of what everyone was there for, which was the broker transparency, price gouging issue. You know, I seen it. I know a few other people have seen it, that what CJ had typed up, and everyone thought it was pretty great. So that's what we went in there for. Now, there was other things talked about, but that was the basis of it, because what everyone's got to remember is that's what the DOJ is looking at right now. That was the big issue on the table. So we went in there, and
if we can roll back a little bit, Mike. Sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah, go ahead, CJ.
The reason why I came to DC, and the reason why I believe majority of us came to DC was price gouging, and for DOJ to start an investigation into price gouging, and to knock on the White House's door, and for them to listen to us and do something about it. I believe that's the two things why we came to DC. From there on, I believe that our mission was accomplished. Some people said, don't leave. We left because we reached a certain point that we all discussed, and we met and put our differences aside.
Serge, I had the question from, I'm going to ask some questions during the conversation. Some people was asking, did you got order from White House as soon as this meeting is over? Make sure you guys leave the Constitution. Did you got that order from the White House or not?
We did. Mark Meadows himself said it's about time for you guys to pack up. We are administration that gets things done, and we said yes, thank you. We believe in this administration. We heard you.
Okay, but so a lot of people was asking for capping brokers. I already talked to both of you about, but can you explain to people what did you talk about it and what's the result?
So it's something that Mark Meadows himself brought up, and he asked us about it. He looked at us. Mike said, well, I don't think so. I don't know. That deal. Me, myself, I'm like, well, maybe. And he looked at me. He's like, it's unconstitutional. And he winked at Mike. So that's how it went down. And you guys have to understand me that was one of the things on my agenda is capping the brokers when I was going to the White House. And then when we had the legal counsel involved, and when they advised me and they, broke it down to me, when I talked to a couple of congressmen, and they told me, hey, you can't do that. You have to let the market play in. Then I said, hey, guys, we're not going to present capping because that's un-American. And that's exactly what Meadows said.
So, but you did brought up this question to them, and
Meadows, chief of staff brought it up himself.
Okay, and they basically they said no, it's not going to happen. Period. They didn't even want to further notice. Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Because I can ask some more questions. Charles, you got some questions?
I'm good right now. Keep going with these other questions. Let people ask the questions.
Do you hear him?
He said something, yeah.
Said something. Okay, a lot of guys also
I think he make money right now. Why are we talking?
80 cents
are
a
you
mile.
driving dollar a mile?
80 cents.
A lot of guys asking why we didn't ask for any immediate help, or not bailout, but something like stimulus checks, or to support our industry, trucking industry, before before it comes out, the whole world comes out of an epidemic. So while we're in epidemic, why we didn't ask for any help for trucking business? And they sent me some videos of the conversation that especially you, Serge, agreed that you're gonna ask for this money help, so the government can help us with some stimulus checks or something.
I would love to see those videos where you're saying that I agreed. This is the first time actually afterwards that I am basically people are confronting me, stating that we were supposed to ask for some type of a bailout.
Here, I'll send
in fact, our letters or our signs stated totally the opposite. They said we are not asking for a government bailout, we're asking for transparency, 371.3. And that's exactly was our agenda. Afterwards, we had people that said you guys should have asked. And hey, maybe that should have been presented. And maybe it will be presented later on. But just like the legal counsel advised us, fight one battle at a time. You can't go in and just present a whole boom right here. Let's fight one battle at a time, and let's get the job done. We got in, we made history. If we hold our line, we will move this forward.
Okay. I send it to you so you can watch later, I guess. Yeah. I think I don't remember what exactly. Hold on 1 second, Serge. Okay, so it's at 2 minutes. I'm gonna text you as well, so you can start seeing at 2 minutes when you. I guess he was doing an interview with some of the media, and you told him that we want some help from government now. Like
we need. I said yes, we need help now. People are fighting their last battle, and yes, and the help that we're asking for is that transparency.
It was actually about the money
for the free market, where the free market can kick in and regulate, where the double brokerage can stop, where people can stop abusing the system and the system to be enforced. fully enforced, and the driver can get paid exactly what he deserves. That's what we fought for, and that's what we're fighting for.
Yeah.
Do I believe that we need to ask maybe later on for some kind of bailout? Maybe we do. Yes. But is that something that we presented to you guys before we went to the White House, the day before, or the day when we went to the White House? That morning, I came out before the White House meeting. I presented my agenda. A guy named Jora from our community, a guy named Anderson, I forgot his first name, from the Americans, from the Latinos, there was people. We presented a printout. They said, we're praying for you guys. This is exactly what we need. Go in there, kill it. That's it. And then we got in the car and we went to the White House.
Okay.
So
yeah, because
the agenda was transparent. The agenda was transparent. Everything was transparent on our end where we display things. Some people are asking for emails. Show us this email. You guys have to understand there's a lot of people that were involved from day one pushing this agenda forward behind scenes. A lot of people do not want to be mentioned. A lot of people want to stay low.
Serge, I will ask you this question maybe a little bit later about why a lot of guys want to have basically transparency between us. We'll get to it, I guess. Let's get some more information, more questions about what happened in the White House. When you guys was at the White House, you present them our agenda, which was a transparency, right? And from your guys' words, you said that Jim, what's his name, Mullen, he's supposed to come up with the 3 solutions for Mark Meadows, how to prevent this from happening.
How to enforce the current rules, the current federal rules.
And how to prevent from the brokers go around it, right? So three solutions, yes. How to enforce and how to, okay. Did they give you any written paper or anything to state that they're gonna do it, or it's all words?
Okay, so let's start this way. From day one, even before we went to DC, from day one, we had a good agenda. From day one, when Rick posted his video, I contacted Rick Santiago. He had some issues getting certain permits. We got a permit just to go there and to show that we're going there legal. That nobody, if in case God forbid something happens. So our attorneys reached out. We got the permit. We made it happen. We came there. From day one, this administration, the Trump administration, has been working with us from day one. And I can say that straight up. Just like President Trump stepped up and when there was protests in Michigan and other places, he said it's their constitutional right. Federal government is not going to step in. Exactly the same thing happened in Washington, D.C. This administration allowed us to be there. This administration promised us to move us from one location to another location for 24 hours with police escort. They did so. They kept their word, and they brought us back to our same location afterwards. Mr. Meadows, when he came out, I greeted him. I brought him to our people, to our truckers. When he talked to our truckers, we asked him about the letter that our attorneys presented to the Department of Justice. He said, yes, he knows about the letter. He'll move it down to Department of Justice, to Barr, Attorney General Barr. He kept that promise as well. When he went to Camp David with the president over the weekend, he stated that we will talk on Monday. We will get the ball rolling. We'll figure things out. We'll see what we can do. On Monday, his secretary wrote to us that they're working on setting up a meeting for us to meet in the White House. So this administration that we strongly believe in kept their word. So there is no reason for me to doubt this administration. And before we left the White House, Mark Meadows cracked a joke where he said, do we need to make new hats? Make trucking great again? I said, absolutely. Yes, you do.
Okay, so
perfectly straight up, this administration worked with us from day one. Nobody abused us. You guys believed in us, and we did this together as one. It was the most organized, peaceful protest in U.S. history.
Yeah, since I guess we start talking about the transparency between us and another. So when the Mark Meadows came out, Mike, you're the first one who he promised his email, right? So
Yes.
just a question to Serge. So you had the conversation with the White House before Mike even got this Mark Meadows email, or
Yes, we've been communicating with senators, with congressmen. I'm a member of over 17 different associations, including ATA, which
yeah,
I
that's
went
I have another question about that.
yes, which I went against. I'm the one that contacted OIDA. I'm the one that tried to bring OIDA on board and bring their trucks. They tried to pull it on them and act like they did it, and I said, no, we're not going to allow anybody to pull this on them. This credit goes to the people, the drivers that came to DC and made it happen. Just like I went on record against them, I can go on record and clarify things with anybody. You know, as long as the transparency is here, as long as we believe in each other, and as long as we are united, we can move our agenda forward.
Okay, Serge, I'm gonna jump a little forward then, since you're saying that we as a truckers and everything. I just had the question here. Where is it? Okay, people want to know how. People want to know how. Okay. No, what's the other question he had? Who picked? Where's that question? Okay, I'm gonna get you this question. It's the wrong question. I don't think so. We need to ask that. Anyway, so the question is, who determined? Hold on. Okay, so people want to know who selected the people that's gonna go in the White House.
Who selected the people?
Yeah, like who determined? Okay, you're gonna go to White House. You're gonna go to White House, or you're gonna go to White House.
We've been communicating with the White House, sending letters, and have a direct line of communication. On day, I believe 3, we've been working together, and just like Santiago said, CJ was God given, and when he came there, he said he's gonna get into the White House. He has a mission. He will accomplish it.
But who picked?
So for myself, hold on. I'll get there. For myself, speaking from Eastern European community, presenting the Eastern European community, and then it ended up being not just the Eastern European community, but the Latinos, the Americans, and all of us uniting in one and listening and following the same instructions. When Meadows came, I met him on the corner of the Constitution and I believe 15th. We walked to the Eastern Europeans table. He asked, I asked him, is this where you want to go, or do you want to get everybody else? He said, no, that's fine. Let's head this direction. We headed that direction. Then he said, oh, is this where the good hot dogs are at? And then Roman, one of the truck drivers, their carrier, he's the one that started talking to him, and then the conversation broke in. When we were talking, we had people from our side, our community, where people said, "Hey, Mike, step up." So Mike stepped up.
I have a video.
His game. I stepped up my game, and then we had the communication with the White House directly with Meadows from there on. Not with aides, not with other sources, but direct communication with the White House.
Okay, I understand this. This is how you got the communication with the White House. But as the way I remember, only Mike got the email, and then when I asked you, did you receive the email as well? You said no, not yet, but we'll get one. You know, a couple days ago, I guess you received it. So he didn't give you the email right away.
The next day, we had the email, and we had direct transparency communication with Mike on the line.
Okay, but my question is, who picked Mike? Who picked you to go represent?
The White House picked us.
Yeah. What's the nature of your question? I don't understand.
This is the question we have. Like, why?
Yeah, but what's the nature of your question? Is that, are you getting offended that you didn't go into the White House, or you didn't get a direct invitation from the White House, or I'm missing the point?
One more time. This is the question people asking. Okay, this is the people who was there in Washington D.C. You know, I'm not gonna call names, but you can go through the.
Mr. David, let's set this clear. Is there anything that you are disappointed, or the people are disappointed that we promised and that we did fulfill?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk. Let's talk.
here's the thing why a lot of guys are we have a big conversation all over the Facebook, all over the internet, basically, and calling each other people and talking. First of all, this question been asked a lot. Who picked who to go and represent? There's a huge question going.
I got an
Serge,
invitation.
I didn't
I got a
you.
direct invitation from the White House. So did Mike Lendis. A direct invitation with a link to register and to go in. When I asked if our attorney can be present so we can fly him out, the message to us, a reply was that seats are limited. We will not have room for your attorney. That's it.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna get to this too as well. Let me tell you something. Let me finish, so because I don't disrupt you, please let me finish talking. So people are like asking who picked who to go to the White House, and here's what the problem is. A lot of guys, why they asking you to show all emails and when all communication with the White House, and like we're sitting on we're sitting in Constitution Avenue, and all we're hearing is what's going on behind the scene. It's what you say to us. Whatever you tell us, we have to believe you, but there's no documentation to prove that you're telling the truth. And there's a lot of guys.
No, because you're rolling up a bunch of bull right now, and I'm gonna nail it to you straight up. You are the one that is dividing people. You have a division mission, and that's my opinion.
We don't talk about this yet.
Hold on. There's so basically for 3 weeks we were all united. For 3 weeks we all had trust in each other. For 3 weeks we believed in each other. For 3 weeks we presented the same agenda, the same message to the White House, to Department of Justice. And as soon as we leave, as soon as we are heard, as soon as we accomplish something, we have these people that are trying to divide us and say that, you know what, we don't trust you.
Sir, the problem is during this since we've got to this point, during the whole situation, during this whole meeting, we always ask you, Serge, what's next? What should we tell to people? What we need some more information to explain. And you can't admit that. I told you personally, Serge, I need some more information because we gotta tell people what's going on. Why are we sitting here? They need to know more information.
I presented to you information, the right information, and whatever I could present to you at the time, I did so. Some of the things,
words and the email. I mean the emails you send it to them, the big letters, which everybody have it, but exactly what's going on, nobody had the transparency. Let me hold on.
Listen. So the transparency with the White House, just like the legal counsel advised, transparency with the White House is something that was never set up in the trucking industry by truckers that were protesting.
Doesn't matter, Serge. Right now we're talking about believing to each other. People, not me, Serge. I can go to the site. I have a YouTube channel, and people coming to me because they want to be heard. You wanna? We don't want. Like I said, we have to respect each other and not fight. Let's be calm down and
I'm not fighting. I'm not fighting.
Okay, but you're trying to push. I divide people and everything. People calling me.
That's my
to me.
Also
in our group, in our group, there's a lot of guys asking you questions, and you're trying to go away. And oh, you wasn't there for long enough. People want to know the truth. They want to see the email. Hey,
I believe that a couple of your people are trying to stir things up.
My people?
We can discuss that personally. As you sit on the sidelines, watch.
Same thing with your people. Your people are getting into the fight with us. With the guys. Vladimir, is he my guy or what? Look, listen to him. He's been there since day one.
It's general questions, Serge. Cannot make everything up. It's just general questions. And
it's just a general question. Nobody's asking you or pushing for anything. Just a question, sir.
Let's try have a conversation, good conversation to answer the question.
Respect each other. Respect.
Yeah, it's not David's question.
I've been respecting, and I still respect till this day.
But we want transparency from between all of us.
Hold on. Can I jump in here and just explain this instead of it going back and forth? I'll just lay it out. Let's kind of explain it, right?
Yeah.
So first, the deal with going into the White House, is kind of like this. CJ had his attorney and was talking to other government officials, offices, governors, stuff like that, congressmen. So his name was already in the ear of the White House, okay, for one. For two, once Meadows came out, like you said, you have the video, I got pushed out to talk by, we'll call it popular demand. So now my name is in the White House's ear. So to be honest, that Monday morning when we were supposed to go in, just like Serge, I'm sure, I woke up to an email asking me to be there. And then they pushed it to Wednesday because Mullins couldn't be there until Wednesday. And then we got an email that night to fill out everything we needed, because originally it wasn't going to be at the White House. It was going to be off campus somewhere. So we didn't need the security clearances and stuff like that. Then once they had to wait, they decided to have it at the White House. Mullins could be there. And then we filled out the security clearances. Now, as far as anyone else going, Claudia and Yanni came to me about taking Claudia in because she represents a strong woman in trucking. They have 27 trucks, I believe it is. I agreed. I think that's a great idea. This was after we had already been denied the attorney, because that was something CJ asked right away. And I asked the lady that sent us the emails about coming in.
Eliza.
And yeah, and she said no. We even tried the next morning and she said no, because there's a 24-hour process there. It wasn't that we asked to go to the White House. We were invited to the White House. So as far as that goes, that's exactly how that happened. Now, with the rest of it there, you know, there's a lot going on, and this happens anytime after this, and it's a shame to see this kind of infighting, or this wanting to know, or this person didn't say this or whatever. But you know, as far as the transparency with emails and stuff go, I think everyone has to understand we're communicating with the right-hand man to the president. It's not really our decision whether or not we can share that stuff or not. He doesn't want that stuff put out there. Not that there's anything on there that no one should really be able to see, okay? But there's just things, and I've encountered this too with doing the things that we've been involved in DC as far as my organization. When you have these doors open, sometimes you get information that you can work with, but you can't necessarily let the masses know. And it's extremely frustrating because for my organization, we try to be as transparent as possible too. And there is things sometimes that I can't let everybody know about. And that's kind of how this is. And I hope that everyone understands that you know, we weren't picked by really anybody, but we were at the same time. And like you said, Dave, you have video of that happening. So all we can really tell you guys is what happened, and hope that everyone still believes in us, because for 3 weeks, we were all one huge family. Whether you're from the Eastern Europeans, or you're from the Latinos, or you're a honky like myself, you know, we were all one. And for me personally, I have nothing to gain out of this. In fact, if anything, this is, and I won't ever say what it's doing to me, but personally, this has ruined a lot of stuff for me. And I'll be honest with you, we pissed in a lot of Cheerios, and it will probably ruin more in the future. So, you know, as we were talking before this, I have 2 kids that are 7 and 10. We race dirt bikes and stuff. And the thought of their lives being ruined because I stood up for people that are now questioning why I was there or what happened is a little disheartening on my side of things. And it's really kind of irritating, to be perfectly honest, because we have this huge opportunity that history has never presented. Even when OIDA started in the 70s, they didn't have this opportunity like we've had right now. And I hope that people can trust that. I understand people want to know everything. And on my end of things, I wanted to do a video and put it all out there too, and I haven't, because as most of you guys are probably the same, after 3 weeks pounded in the street down there, I just wanted to break away from it. And you know, it's very disheartening to kind of hear all this, and even, you know, we just seen it on here. Everybody's kind of like, well, you're doing this, well, you're doing that, well, we think you're mad about that. And we were all there. we were all a part of it in some way, shape, or form. I didn't do it to be in a popularity contest. I think I posted that on Facebook yesterday. If that's what someone wants, I'll gladly step back. But I got pushed out in front, just like CJ worked on things behind the scenes. No matter if he's a member of ATA or owns an e-log company, for God's sake, I go against e-logs for crying out loud. And here we are going into the White House together, you know? And the other thing I want to say,
things, you know?
Yeah. The other thing I want to say is this, because my phone's getting ready to die and I'm going to have to get ready to go trucking anyway. But, you know, everyone wants to know about, well, did you get any type of thing signed out of the meeting with the White House? Did you get any permanent answer, this, that, the other thing? Like CJ said, we believe in this administration because it's going to get things done. And I wish we could have recorded either just audio or even video of that, because I think if everyone else would have seen the way that meeting went with the chief of staff and Mullins and me and CJ in there, you wouldn't need anything in writing. You could tell just by the tone of the chief of staff and the questions that were asked and the way he kind of went after things, that he's not happy. And quite frankly, he was pissed that the FMCSA had to admit that they've known these type of things are going on, that these contracts are being made, and that there's double and co-brokering issues going on, and that there's rules and laws behind that they're skirting around, and that the FMCSA has known this and hasn't enforced it. He was pissed. He was, I mean, in the most diplomatic way, he mother effed that guy. And you could pick up on that in that meeting. And I'll be honest with you, before we went in, that guy tried to scare me and CJ. CJ even more so than me. He was working on trying to get us to back down before the meeting. And we went in there, and just like I said down there, we represented truth with the experience in trucking to back it up. And CJ's been in trucking for years. CJ still owns trucks. I've been in trucking my whole life. I'm third generation. I've owned my own truck since I'm 21. We have that experience to back up what was said. And Mr. Meadows he's a good old boy. He can see when someone's telling the God's honest truth and when someone's spewing a line of crap, because we've seen him call them out on that when they tried, and we backed up our truth with experience, and it worked. And now we've gained the trust of the White House, right? Which is great. So after this conversation about the brokering issues, we laid a little bit out there on the line about, you know, rules and regulations and how FMCSA, DOT, T&I committee, transportation committee, none of them have anyone on them, involved in them, nothing to do with any of them that have any trucking experience. And he admitted he understands that's a problem. The issue is trying to get us a complete seat at the table where we have actual power is difficult because we're not in politics, and you kind of have to be in politics to get in some of those positions. You know, his exact words were, you want to be a trucker or a bureaucrat? Because I don't think you want to be a bureaucrat because it sucks.
Exactly.
And, you know, we'll do what we have to do to protect this industry and protect everyone like you that stand behind us. And the last thing we expressed to him is how, you know, there's a big misconception that the ATA represents all of trucking. But when you really get down to it, they represent probably less than 10%. In fact, I know it's less than 10%. That over
he agreed. He agreed.
Yeah, over 90% of us in this industry have no representation. And he turned and he looked at me and CJ both, and he goes, well, they do now.
Yep.
So we have no reason not to believe that they're going to work on this. And when he told Meadows he needs 3 solutions, the tone of his voice made it sound like you better do it quick. And we will see what they're going to be, and we will be in contact and find out what those 3 solutions are going to be and how fast they're going to be enacted.
Okay, yeah, well, like I said, this
David, if you can allow me for 1 second to answer a question before I forget, I apologize.
Yes.
Hey, guys, Mike, CJ, this is a question that I'm sure a lot of people are asking. I understand that you guys said that, if I heard you correctly, you said that there's a lot of things being said that you cannot share with the group or the trucking industry that was there. I would say that basically those guys that sat there for 3 weeks at Constitution Avenue, don't you think that they deserve the right to know what was said and what's going on, or what the place is taking right now, in order for us to succeed in this situation? I don't understand, why did we fight for transparency when we can't be transparent within our own group?
Okay, let me answer from my side, and Mike, you can pick up thereafter. So what I stated when I said some things can't be shared is the things that were behind scenes prior to the meeting to the White House. Everything in the White House we shared, 100% transparency. Everything in the White House, the conversation in the White House was shared 100%. Prior things, people involved on my personal level that was done, that's a different issue or different concern, or
One question again, like I said, not only me, but a lot of guys asking, but me personally too, but about the who went to the White House. Like you said, everything is transparent. Did you guys ask them for more guys? Like we had
yes.
Roman, Levin.
Yes.
How hard to
asked,
publish this email? And another question before
can I answer?
Yes.
We
Yes,
asked for the attorney to be present. When
they
denied the attorney, we did not ask for anybody else.
Okay, but Mike, you know, I mean, you guys know English. The turn they respond to you, I think, Serge. They said, "Thank you for confirming. We are keeping this meeting limited to principles only." What that means? And then it says, "So at this time, are not able to extend an invitation to Mr. Tarado, which is your lawyer." So they denied your lawyer, but
which is a lawyer that represents everybody on the Constitution.
But he's not a truck driver. He's not a principal.
Come on, he's been an attorney representing truck drivers most of his life. That's all he's practicing is FMCSA, DOT. That's his practice, and that's what his law firm practices. So saying if he's not a truck driver or truck driver, put that aside.
I understand, but they said right here, we're limited to principles only, not to attorneys, to principles only. So you could have what's her name? The girl from
Jenny.
Yeah, Jeanette. Why she didn't go? I think she had a really a good point to go there, because she represents a lot of Latinos guys in the Spanish-speaking.
Why she didn't go? You should ask her.
So you guys, you never asked nobody to go.
No.
Oh, hold on. Let me answer that. Go ahead. She was there when I told her that I got the invite to the White House, and she said, "Well, I'm glad you get to go." She didn't want to go. She believed in us to go. And as I said when I was talking earlier, and Yanni and Claudia can stand up for this because I did it right in front of them, I sent an email asking if Claudia could come in with us because it represents a female in trucking. She's very professional, and they own a small fleet. And they denied it because it was just not enough time at that point, was their excuse. They needed 24 hours to process
they had more room. But nobody ever just even worried about asking, right?
They didn't say anything about if there was room or not. To me, they just said that it was too late.
So basically, okay, yeah. I guess I hope we got the answer for this conversation. I kind of understood this.
Mike, I can confirm on that level. I can confirm that you did send out the email. However, I was a little bit concerned, and after the fact that what you said, and I understand from a few people that they actually pushed or spoke to you, because neither me or Claudia wanted to be in the front seat. Absolutely not. But because they believed that she can make a difference or represent the trucking in a different way, they pushed for her to go in on Monday and Tuesday all day long, if I'm not mistaken. Now that being said, you can confirm or deny that. But my only concern was after we spoke that evening, and you sent that email. You said, if in fact this is going to go through, please don't tell CJ. Now that's where I had a problem. I thought we were going to be all in the transparency part. That's what I have about. That's what bothers me.
I told you not to tell CJ because I wanted to tell him myself, and we talked about that the next morning. In fact, Claudia was there, and we both tried to get her to come in the next morning.
That's from what I understood, because the Secret Service actually called over to the office and said that basically you're not on the list, and the security guard over there, well, the Secret Service Police Department said that basically you just found out about this meeting, and I don't know how you found out about this meeting. That's what was said. I can't confirm or deny anything further from that.
I mean,
Okay.
I don't know what the Secret Service knew or not. All I know is
No,
they
spoke with the White House.
I mean, here's the thing. We got invited to go. You guys approached me about asking. I tried, as obviously right in front of you, you've seen it, as best I could to get Claudia to go, because I agreed. I think it was a great idea if she could have come in with us.
Oh, I understand.
I still stand behind that. But the thing is I think everyone has to remember we didn't really go up and just ask if we can go have a meeting at the White House. The White House contacted us, and for us, we don't really have the power to just take in whoever we can.
Let me just interrupt you guys 1 second. I want to so you understand the point of why people are so I could say concerned about why only 2 of you went to the White House. All they worry about is not everything what we fight for went into White House. So you guys, the only 2 of you, limited how much you told them about our problem. That's it. When you get, we fight for one agenda, like Serge says. No, we fight one thing at a time. So we fight for one thing. They heard us. They let us inside the White House. Now put your pockets out and let them understand our industry, understand our problem, what we're facing against you, and let what they can sort it out and see what they can help us with.
Well, and that's
why they're not
happen.
They're so.
The problem is you can't go in the White House with a list of 40 things because they're not going to hear you. And like I said, there's an investigation into the DOJ with the DOJ into the broker thing. That's the hot ticket right now. So that's what we went in and presented most of the questions and facts about. Now, like I said, other issues were brought up to put it in their ear for the future, because now we have that open line of communication and we can work on things from here on out. But it's not like one day you do this and the next day you do that and the next day you do that. Like you got to give a little time for what we just did to work a little bit, and then we can move on to the next.
Yeah,
you got to respect what was done, because what was done was never done in the history of the United States of America.
Exactly, and I agree with you, Serge, that you said we fight transparency. It's automatically gonna dismiss double broker, so it's gonna open up a lot of things by just one thing, but it gets together more things, So at the same time, if you could have told them more information, it might help to actually get transparency factor or something else. You know what I'm saying? Like a stimulus check or help to our trucking industry while we have this COVID-19. It would help us not to take cheap loads, to stay at home longer, and
go on unemployment.
Or they don't allow it.
Yes, they do.
Here's the thing. No one came to me specifically and asked for any type of help except the one Indian guy that showed up, the one for a few days that was bringing us food. I forget. I can't pronounce his name.
When Meadows came up.
Yeah, but nobody came up to me personally and asked for that.
Yeah, I didn't ask either. I'm just asking the questions that people ask.
So, and I told this on Lana's show the other night, because Lana asked me this, and I told her right on the show, and she even asked me, she said, if we go back for something like that, would you be willing to fight for it? Well, sure. Hey, the government wants to give me some of my tax money I paid the last few years back. I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? But that's not what was presented to us to take into the White House. And we were sticking with what seemed to be the most important thing at the time, that was opening that door, because the DOJ is looking into it. You got to look at this strategically sometimes. You got to use what you can in the moment for the bigger picture. And that's what happened. Now we have this, you know, as Meadows even said, now the 90% of us plus have representation. We can move forward from here on. This is just the beginning. And I hope everyone will understand that.
Yeah.
My phone's about to die. So if you lose me, that's why.
Okay, Mike, before you leave, so see the another problem why people are a little bit upset, I should say, because we fight for the transparency, you know, and but the thing is, we left DC without 100% proof that this will be fixed. I understand that Meadows was really mad. I understand that he was frustrated that FMCSA knew about problems but never addressed it. You know, I understand all that, but there was no written papers. You know, there was no big news, nothing. So it's all just words. And I understand we believe in our.
I posted the email. We will try to fix it.
Again, Serge, it's only email that goes to your email. It's not.
Here's the thing you got to try and remember.
Actually, it's a federal crime to actually make something up.
Yeah, look at the bigger picture here. The DOJ is they're about if they start investigating this and they really start finding everything that we told them, this is going to be one of the biggest probably investigations in this country's history. For one, for two, collusion. The guy that's supposed to ensure that these laws aren't broken just had to admit to the right-hand man to the president that he know they're being broken and they weren't doing anything about it. This is in my opinion, I know it's the government, they can basically do what they want, but in my opinion, they can't ignore that. They have to do something about it.
We all hope for that. That's true. And I hope it's gonna work out. I understand everybody needs to wait. That's no question. We need to wait.
We got the biggest investigation. We launched the biggest investigation in U.S. history.
Serge, question to you about this investigation. I talked to Rick, and he said you never asked him for any more help because he received a lot of emails from people.
I spoke to Rick yesterday, and I'm working with Rick. And
he said you never asked him for any emails to help our investigation, DOJ.
Okay.
I talked to him right before this conversation.
We linked Baker, the law firm that is working with him. That law firm is working with our law firm.
Yeah, I
know that. sharing information back and forth.
But so your guys, as much as I understand, you guys opening a Class A lawsuit, right?
That's after.
After what?
Maybe this week, maybe next week.
But that's why you're working with Rick, because you guys together opening a lawsuit, Class A lawsuit that we don't know about. You know, it's
class action lawsuit that they're working on, but they're not sure if it's going to happen.
Okay, yeah, but
we're not sure
that's what you're working together. But when we asked you at the Constitution Avenue, did you got any information? You said, yeah, I asked Rick, but he declined to give it to me.
Oh, the information that I asked for was the information, the setup, the broker training. The broker training is what I asked, and he said, well, you know, I can't really show you. You can't share with nobody. And I said, okay, I don't need it. I want to show it. You send it to the attorney. After that, that's what I asked for. I did not get it. Yes.
Because he said he didn't receive any. But okay, that's I got the answer for the question. It's good. I'm not. Oh, look at this, Charles. You now not driving. You want to ask the questions. What are we gonna do after? You know what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen next? Let's give it time to him.
I understand the animosity. I understand people's frustration. 20 years I've been doing what these two guys set out to do. But here's the thing, going forward, there needs to be a push for people to work as a team. We just need more people involved to take the weight, to spread the weight. The transparency thing, CJ's working on that. There's people involved, but like Mike said, there's 40,000 issues in this industry. Two men cannot do this by themselves, okay? Two men cannot represent the entire industry. That's, you know, and not that we do, okay? Not that we do represent the entire industry, because as Mike knows and CJ knows, we don't, okay? There was 250 or 300 people down on that street, and there's 750,000 of us involved in this type of work that we all do. The people that are on this call, there's only 750,000 out of 3.5 million that do what we do. Two people can't handle this all by themselves. So we need to find a way forward where we can accomplish things, because obviously there's a lot going on, and people are just upset because they feel we want to fight for transparency, but they don't see transparency. I get it. CJ, I was on a couple phone calls when I was down there that he included me in, and I never talked about them because they were CJ's phone calls. But they're just, people don't like the unknown. Nobody likes to guess. And there's so much distrust in this industry because of that thing right there. I saw it. I saw it. From day one, the very first day I started this 20 years ago, I saw the same thing everybody's seeing now, the same thing Mike and CJ are seeing, the same thing Kamaz is seeing, same thing everybody's seeing. It's impossible for two people or one person or three people to lead an entire industry. You can't do it. We need to do a better job with transparency with each other, include the industry in what we're doing, ask the industry what they'd like to see. You know, Mike knows these things. We just got to do it. All happened so fast in a fury. I think people just forgot when you've got two people that are the two people that are chosen to speak, the two people that were there speaking. Those are the only two people that are going to know what's going on. And for them to be able to, I mean, their lives are consumed by assimilating information to everybody else. They have families, they have lives. I've been through all this. It's impossible. So maybe we need to find a way forward where, okay, you got two people in communication with the White House. They communicate with two other people, two other truck captains, or whatever you want to call them. Keep the information flowing so people know what's going on, so people understand what's going on, and work towards the goals. Break up into these groups. And Mike said, okay, this is important. Mike said, if we could come up with a financial aid package or something to give the industry relief, who would we choose to speak on those issues? Well, Scott Jordan, Lana Danko, and about 5 or 6 other people are really capable of putting together something for financial relief for the industry. Mike's been working on the hours of service. That's a dead issue. We all know that. We got the cookie, and the fallout's going to be what it's going to be. But we have to do a better job communicating with each other. And when we say we're going to let the past be the past, let the past be the past.
Yeah.
Or we're going to accomplish nothing.
It's going to take all of us. Charles is right. And quickly before my phone dies, because it just went dark. But, you know, there's been a lot of people that have reached out to me that would like to work with USTA on this type of stuff. A lot of people have. And it's going to take us a little while to get everything put together. But I'd like to take everyone that offered up on their offer, because we can go so many different directions working together, but as one, that we can tackle a lot of different issues. And everyone has their own little niche that they know a lot about, or are good at talking about, or have experience in. And it really is going to take everybody sticking together to represent all of us in this industry, like Charles just said.
We got to be open to each other. You know, we got to trust each other and be more transparent to the group. Was in Washington D.C. You know, so people believe more to words. You know, when you have a letter and that stays behind your words, there's no point not to believe. You know what I'm saying? Any words you say, and you have a paper to stand behind, everybody would be completely calm down and would fight. Like, here's the question now: what's next? I mean, when you think, or like when we're gonna find out any news about results about this transparency, and when the FMCSA gonna provide 3 results how to fix this problem? Who gonna determine if those 3 results are we like, you know, our guys who stand there and the guys who's behind the wheel, if they like those results? Who's gonna how we're gonna, you know, say our worries, say something to Serge or you, like, hey, I like that, this guy doesn't like, we should change this. Who's gonna determine if those 3 things are right, and how we're gonna find out about them? Like, we don't have a union group together where everybody knows about this 3 results when the FMCSA will present. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's one of the challenges of moving forward, and that's something that together we're all going to have to figure out a plan to make that happen. Because once we find out what those 3 things are, everyone should know what they are to have their be able to form their opinions of it and have their input put in.
and who's going to determine if they're good or bad, if we're okay with that or not. You know what I'm saying? If we guys not transparent to each other.
Well, that's where the transparency comes in. As soon as we hear something like that, that's information that will be put out. And like I said, going forward, how we put that out to everybody is going to be the challenge, and how everyone can have their either yay or nays or their ideas on it heard is going to be the challenge. But
do you guys have in mind
that's part
how
of something we're going to have to try and figure out? You know what I mean? Like I can't sit here and tell you the solution to it, but it's something that we're gonna have to all work together and work forward on to figure out.
There you go. Like you, Mike, and the Surge. Do you ever? Oh, I think Mike. Oh, he's still there. Did you come up with your own 3 things how to fix that? Like, do we have anything to counter offer them if we don't like their 3 solutions? Do we ever talked about that? Like, we have to go forward. We have to work as a big team together. You know, we never talk about it. And Surge thinks it's gonna happen in a couple of weeks, but I'm being reality. You know, I think it's gonna happen within a few months. I doubt it is gonna happen in a couple of weeks. A week almost passed and nothing changed. You know, so in those couple of months until they're gonna decide what's going on with this 3 solutions, how we're gonna survive, how we're gonna live with this crisis on the road, you know? Can we start asking the government for help for stimulus checks or something? Serge, I guess Mike is gone. I guess question to you, like, while we all on the same page, we're fighting together, should we put some a new question for Meadows or new help?
Just like I previously stated, that we are planning to write back to the White House this Thursday or Friday, send them an official letter asking what the response was from Jim, from the acting director of FMCSA, and if they wish to listen, or if we can, or if we may present our 3 opinions or our 3 moving forward.
So you're planning to send this letter to them
this week, yes.
Sir, do you have any idea of those 3 things? Did you ever thought about it? Did you ever ask anybody? Like,
we have some ideas. We talked to some people. I'm not going to disclose. We're open to everybody's opinion for others to pitch in. Like I said, this is your guys' fight. So we're open to to hearing you guys and to see.
But you don't want to disclose yours.
I want to actually listen to yours. What do you have to present?
I don't have anything to present. That's why I'm asking. Do we even allow it? Do we have, like, we're working as a team? I can't say anything by myself. We have to gather together.
Just like always, before anything went out, we will present it to you guys and we will go over it.
Yeah, I guess I got all my questions answered. I don't know if anybody wrote any other questions. Do you guys have any questions to ask? I mean, what's gonna happen next? Oh, Serge, hold on. I had one question. This new, 1 second. This new, union association. You're trying to open a new union association, right? Will it be?
We're in the progress of opening a trucking association called Make Trucking Great Again. Mm-hmm. We're talking with highly officials, including Rudy Giuliano, that we're going to put on the board of directors, and we're going to have lobbyists presenting the small business owner operators.
Okay, and the question is, will this union be related to the future of ATA? Like, are they gonna work together or be a part of this ATA? Because we never knew that you're in the ATA.
I think yes. I told even Charles and anybody else. Yes, I'm a member of over 17 associations. Over 17 associations that I went against, that advised me highly not to do what I went and I did. But I put my name on the line because I love this industry and I'm not going to see it go to waste. So yes, I will fight for the little guy.
Okay, but so this new union thing, is it going to be
It's
in-house
association, not a union, not a union.
Yeah, the union is illegal. But this association, will it be tied with the ATA or completely separate?
It's a separate association, but if we can work with others, I don't see why not unite and work with others. But if we're fighting for the little guys, we're fighting for the little guys. The doors are open to anyone and everyone that are willing to participate and be as one and be that one voice.
So this association is gonna work same as OIDA.
I'm not familiar with how OIDA operates.
I'm
not
not
a member
either,
of OIDA.
because you're the guy who brought them in. You should know them, right? I think they're fighting for truckers, but
Yes.
as much as I hear about,
we try to get as much leverage and movement and as possible. But when I spoke to Mike, the vice president of OIDA, I explained to him, I broke it down to him, I sent him the letters. The next day, he went out and he did his own deal where he presented the case to Congress.
I remember that. Yeah.
I told him, I told him, I said, we are not going to allow people to take credit upon themselves and use these people hostage that are right here on Constitution Avenue. It's not going to happen. And it's exactly the same thing I told Mike. It's exactly the same thing I told Mike. So we're not going to present our own agendas to the White House, and we're not going to use these people's hostage that are standing there fighting their last battle. And that's exactly what happened. Mike agreed with me. We had the agenda, we presented it, and I believe the mission was accomplished. We got the DOJ investigation. We got the biggest investigation in U.S. history. If and when it goes forward, which it is right now going forward, we know that there's other parties that wrote to Department of Justice and the letters got denied. Our letter got moved forward. It got accepted. We are good. We won in a big way, and we made history. Now we need to stay united and push our agenda for. Well, see, that's the thing. In order for you to trust others, you need to learn how to trust yourself. In order for you to respect others, you need to respect yourself. In order for you to love others, you need to start loving yourself. So it all starts with you. That's it. Yeah. And we have to give each other 100%. Once we give each other 100%, and along the lines, if somebody screws up, then you ask them. But just like a lot of people were telling me about Mike, oh, Mike this, guys, thank you. I appreciate it, but I'm not going to go against Mike until he screws up and shows me otherwise. And it goes to everybody. It's mutual respect that you deserve to give credit to other party before they screw up.
Okay. Yeah. So can you explain more what's this association is going to do, how it's going to work, or you don't have anything?
Like I said, it's in the making. I have not. I'm planning to meet. I believe Rudy Giuliano is out of town, out of the country. As soon as I meet, which may be June or around June 5th through the 7th, we'll see. Then we'll talk. Right now, it's for me talking in the dark. We are working on it, but it's once we have some more momentum, I will present it to you guys.
I got you. And that's I'm assuming it's gonna be paid subscription, right? So you pay to help this association fight.
Once again, I do not know, so I'm not gonna jump ahead of myself.
I got you. Okay. Well, thank you, Serge, for
explaining. So do you agree, Serge? Do you agree going forward that perhaps maybe it's time you pick teams of people and you take the strongest leaders in the industry and allow them to facilitate what you're doing and Mike is doing, be able to assign tasks, be able to keep the train moving forward? You're gonna need all of these people to do this because it's a vast array of knowledge, right? What I know, somebody else doesn't know. What you know, somebody else doesn't know. What Vlad knows, somebody else doesn't know. I think if you're gonna continue the momentum, you need people that you can go back to and you're comfortable talking to and you're comfortable giving information to. They can then go assimilate that information to the troops, right? The people on the ground. Because face it, I think
that is correct. I agree with you.
I think what we just learned is simple. And it's always been this way, CJ. There's always somebody doesn't like. It's animosity. Call it what you want. Human ego, jealousy. We need to spread this burden out. It needs to come
You need to keep the contact, right? It's already done. You're in there, Mike's in there, but you guys can't move the ball. All you can do is go audible, timeout. I mean, without all of the industry behind us, we can't get anything done. So maybe over the next week or two, while you're waiting for this to settle, you and Mike get together, pick the strongest people in the industry and say, these are the guys that are going to speak to the rest of the people. These are the guys that are going to bring everybody's ideas to us and talk about those ideas, right? So Vlad and Kaz can speak, myself and Lonnie and Claudia and all these people, they're your voices. You may not always agree with them, and sometimes they may come across a little rough, but they are your strongest supporters and your strongest advocates. That's all I'm saying.
As long as they're not presenting fake news, I'm in.
Nobody should be doing that. Everybody should be saying, this is why I'm trying to say, going forward, communicate with the key people, give them the information, and then let them talk to the drivers. Let them know what you're doing, and then nobody can say, well, he didn't tell me. You're telling 4 or 5 people what needs to happen, what's going on, and what has happened. You don't have to carry the burden by yourself and say, well, he didn't tell me. He didn't tell me. He didn't show me.
Serge,
Charles, I agree with you.
Yeah, the more transparent you are, the less people can create fake news, because there wouldn't be any source to create fake news, because you're more
people just like CNN will always find a way to create fake news.
Well, but still, when you have papers to stand behind.
They will always have fact checks, just like CNN put my picture and said fact check. They were not cheering for the president. In fact, we were cheering for the president because we love this administration, we love this president, and we at the same time we were pushing Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. We need help, and they heard us.
Serge, I have a guy, Quality Transportation, asking a question. Serge, what is your benefit from brokers transparency as a software company owner?
Okay. So, as you guys may have known, I've been in this industry from back in 2008. I was a truck driver for 7 years. I had a small fleet, broker back in 2011, safety administrator, and I grew up and I went up the ladder. Even till to date, I have 2 trucks that run Amazon. I'm a CDL holder. I still go from time to time, and I love this industry. I love this industry. You guys understand, and you guys know that once a trucker, always a trucker. So for me, no, see, for you now it's hope. It's funny, but it's not funny for me. So for me, myself, I will not sit and have people calling me daily, complaining, crying that they're getting screwed by these brokers. That's when I stepped up and I said, you know what? Somebody needs to do something about it. With the connections that I have, with the lobbyists that I had in my pocket, and a lot of them did not back me up. And Charles knows that. A lot of them didn't back me up. But I said, you know what? I have to fight this battle with these people, because in the end, I will be screwed as well. And I love this industry too much to watch it go to waste. That's why I stepped it up, and I'm fighting this battle just like I fought any battle in my life. That's where I am, thank God, to date.
Thank you for answering, Serge. Yeah. Thank you.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, Serge. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. That phone call, if you had come to me and said, hey, it's okay now to release certain things, there are some things that could have defended your position, right? I was on that phone call with your attorney and with the former chief of staff, the head Department of the DOT, plus the people from the ATA, right? Yeah. I remember specifically 2 of them said, you're crazy, don't do this, it's not a good idea.
Yeah. And I put people don't understand that I put my name on the line. When off the record, Meadows, not Meadows, I apologize, when Jim came and he used us, I believe, a scare tactic on me, kind of, you guys have to understand that I have a federal certificate with the FMCSA. In a way where he tried to scare me, where basically, hey, we knew that you had these errors in the Apple files. Did you fix them? Why did he bring that up? It's a scare tactic. That just pissed me off more. And when I went there, I spoke clearly, exposing and demanding for my agenda for our agenda to be pushed forward. Because if I'm in the battle, I'm going all the way. There is no going back. And before I went in there, I know Jim. He's a great guy. I know him. I met him multiple times. But I believe that I'm fighting for something that's much bigger. For me, it's leaving a legacy behind and making sure that that small guy, which is the owner operator, the guy that everybody abuses, because I was a driver myself. I still drive from time to time, and I know the abuse people deal with on the road. I know that the when you go in, there's no bathrooms for drivers. I know how they treat you with detention. I know there's a lot of things we can present, but once we get that transparency, and you guys can get back on the road and you can feed your family and spend less time on the road, more time at home, because you're actually getting paid what you're worth, then we can move along forward and present your other agendas.
Serge, I received this message. Who's it? Josh Tiger or somebody? He wrote CJ with the ELD company and the USTA, which is Mike. I think sucks that Mike left.
Yeah,
Gets 20,000 from White House from protesting truckers, and the protesting truckers go zero. What is that? Is that fake news?
What is that again? 20,000 for what?
Basically, what he's saying is he's attacking us. He's saying that we lost. Okay, what did we really accomplish? That's what that guy is trying to say.
I'll break it. I'll break it down to you guys. When we came there for price gouging, when we came there asking for that transparency, when we came there to enforce that law, the federal rule for double brokerage, we came there saying we will leave when Department of Justice starts an investigation, and we will leave when the White House talks to us. We got both. So yes, we won our battle. We set the rules for ourselves, and we achieved those, our goals. So I don't see why or somebody would say that we lost.
Okay, yeah, thank you for answering that question. Yeah, I guess that's it. I got all the questions answered. Anybody else? Vladimir, you got something to say?
No, I'm good.
What's the timeline that we're going to work off of going forward? How much time are we going to give them before we feel that we need to? What's a good timeline, Serge? I mean, are we still looking at 6 to 8 weeks, or are you hoping this is faster and then we'll make a decision?
Yes, I believe that we should give them 30 days. I strongly believe that there may be an executive order that they will enforce, because basically, just like the president said, we are not, or they are not asking for much. We are basically asking for transparency for those rules that are there, but nobody's enforcing those rules, and we want those rules enforced. Once we have those rules enforced, then we will have that free market, just like real estate, where there's, like people are saying cap. It's just like Mato said, it's un-American. We can't ask for capping somebody or regulating somebody in a way where you have certain regulations where you cannot make more. Just what happened in exactly what happened in real estate. In real estate, the market set its percentages. Now that's called a free market. People work with companies that charge less. Now 6-7% is what brokers charge when you buy a house. That's the free market. It's set the market at that specific rate. That's exactly what we want in this industry. That transparency, so that the free market can set those points where nobody can make more, or if they do charge more, nobody will work with them.
There's a guy, he wrote in Russian, but I guess I can try to translate that.
As long as he's not from, as long as he's in US, we can answer his question. If he's writing from Russia,
I'm pretty sure he's in US, because he wouldn't understand the conversation in English, but he wrote in Russian. But it's our point that he said basically you don't want to expose your 3 things of.
No, it's not that I don't want to expose my 3 things. Let's set the record straight. We are working on the 3 things. Currently, I don't have them in front of me. And there's more than 3 things that we're working on, and I don't want to make things up or say something that is off the record and lead you guys the wrong direction. So let's wait patiently, just like we did, and we will present it to you guys before it goes anywhere, and you guys will have a say on it.
Okay, well, that I just want to finish this guy. He said the reason why you're not doing this because you're telling, hey, you tell me what you got to say, you know, not what I have to tell you. Everybody, if they're gonna gather together and give me some information on those three things, we can and I can show my three things that we can accomplish something. So basically, you're collecting more information than you're trying to get information. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have your own. You're trying to get somebody's and then present this as yours. You know.
Like I said, this is your guys' fight. We fought this battle in unity together, and we will win this war in unity together. But if we have division that started before the day before or the 2 days before we went to the White House, we have a problem. People need to start trusting themselves. People need to judge themselves and figure out why they came, what was their agenda, and if they stayed united, and then after we left, they started dividing, they need to question themselves, not me. I'm here, I'm transparent, and I'm staying all the way. And we will win this battle, with or without those people that are trying to divide us.
There's a lot of people that they think it needs to be more transparent. They don't know, like nobody have information on what's going on, you know. And like I said, we all fighting, but I'm the one who's fighting with you, you know. But you have to get more truck drivers there to be in that emails and everything, so they know completely what's going on. Like Charles was saying, you know, there should be more people involved.
What Charles is saying is spreading the message. Breaking it down to people, because if we have people on the front lines, they need people to back them up and have a back behind them. That's exactly what Charles said, and I agree with Charles 100%.
Yeah, so do I. So do I, CJ. Going forward, and how this is going to go. We said we're going to stay transparent, which I hope and I believe that's going to happen. CJ, my question to you is, how are we going to keep in communication? How are we going to have our voices put into perspective that we can present to the right people going forward?
Yeah, so
how are we going to stay in contact?
I understand. Great question. We are working on a website called truckersunified.com. So we bought that domain name about a week ago, 7 days ago. We're still working on the landing page. On that website, that's where you guys will be able to communicate, present your opinion, and pick it up from there.
Thank you for the answer.
Yeah, I appreciate
it. That's very important, I think.
Yeah, thank you, Serge, for answering all the questions. Was a lot of information. I hope everybody understands. I'll try to make another video in Russian to some people who don't understand what we was talking about. But I guess we're all clear. Everything good. I got no questions. Anybody else?
Yeah, that's it. Let's wait for good news from White House.
So we're waiting for you, Serge.
You guys have to understand that about capping. Like, I was in the same boat. I went out. I even made an article, and I said, yeah, cap, until they broke it down to me and explained to me. And Charles can totally relate to this, I believe, because he's a pure American that can break it down what free market is. When they told me what free market is and how it's supposed to be done, I backed up. I said, yeah, okay, like I totally agree.
Yeah. Same here.
You know,
I was for it, and then when everybody explains to me exactly how it works, there is nothing we can do about it. It's not going to happen, period. You know, but a lot of people don't believe that transparency will help this industry.
Why not?
Because brokers right now, they hiding how much the shipper pays. You know, they tell you, hey, he's paying $1.50 a mile, so I can give you only $1.45. I keep 5 cents a mile from your from this.
Yeah, but you have to understand, whatever he's presenting to you, that's official document. That's pretty much
but let me finish so you understand my point.
That will go to IRS. That's basically saying that I will lie to IRS. I will lie on my sheets or
Serge,
my paper.
Let me finish my point. As it's the free market, so now he's gonna have everything transparent. Hey, yeah, I'm getting 10 grand from this shipper, but I'm giving you 3,000. You don't want it? Don't go. I'm gonna sell it to somebody else. And
that's called free market. That's called free market. That's when the free market kicks in. Once everybody has the same rules, the free market will adjust and settle. It will set
people asking how it's going to be adjusted if he's
exactly how it happened in the real estate industry. or any industry in the United States of America. The greatest country in the world that I believe
explain that to people,
together,
how we're going to push
united.
them to pay.
Charles, do you want to explain that, please?
Okay, so basically, the way this is intended to work is if we can force to use 371.3 for its intended purpose, and there was transparency, right? The information would be made available, right? So it's going to create competition in the market. It's going to allow people to see who is it, the shipper that's trying to harm our industry, or is it the broker? But once everybody figures out that this is all there, it'll slowly dissipate, right? All the non-transparency, all the lies, all the secrets, they'll be out in the sunlight. So it'll improve the market in a lot of ways. The question is, will they put a law in place? Or will they add to that law so that it has teeth that bite, right? So is the law going to be strong enough that they won't dare violate? That's what the hope is.
And that's what we're asking for.
Strong enough.
Yeah, but as of right now, the transparency, they're going to show how much they're getting paid, but they don't have to give you all this money because it's a free market. You don't like it, haul it for somebody else. We're not going to give it to you. Let's haul. I'm going to find a cheaper guy.
Because that just means that it's really, okay, so if that's the case, then we all need to go take a good look in the mirror, because if we're going to know what they're getting paid and we'll haul it for less than what we should haul it for, then we're gonna get slapped around. But if we know that they're ripping us off, people just need to grow a pair of oranges and stop hauling this stuff.
Yeah, we have to teach people how to work in this business. But I totally understand. You don't have to explain to me. I know a lot of people's greed is gonna help to bring this percentage down from brokers. So it's gonna kind of level everything out, and the prices will go up. But what people is asking, like how they don't believe that greed will help, So basically we have to still fight, even with transparency. We still have to fight for this prices. We still have to fight for a better pay.
What time the free market will adjust and everything will get into place. As long as those regulations are enforced. Once they are enforced, you will be good.
So they're gonna come to you like, where is my good pay? Yeah, I understand, but you still have to explain more explain to people how it's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? So they gotta come down and
just like the whole economy in the United States of America works. Free market.
Okay,
exactly how it works is exactly how it's gonna work.
Here's one more question I have about transparency. There's also some people believe that if we're gonna get transparent, okay, and since the shippers, that's the brokers. What's brokers saying? It's not us, it's the shippers. They're asking us to waive our rights to show how much you guys paying for the load. So it's not the broker doesn't want to show, it's the shipper doesn't want to show to the public. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's something I posted in one of my Facebook posts, and I believe I posted it in the Viber chat as well.
I didn't read, but let me finish this. So when they're gonna do this, so after that, all the mega carriers, all the shippers will go to mega carriers because they're gonna ship their load inside of their drivers, not the owner operators, and the shipper
does not care. There is no point, just like Meadows mentioned, and that's the case that Jim
I
was
believe
presenting.
in that. What you're saying, I believe in that.
They don't care. But if they're going golfing, which a lot of things are done on the golf course, if they're going golfing with that particular broker like C.H. Robinson or TQL, these mega brokers, and they're going golfing, and you're sitting there having a beer, and you're like, you know what? Hey, put these clauses in to save my ass, so we can continue working. That's what's happening in this industry. That's collusion.
Yeah, so explain that to people too, because I believe that transparency will help us, and I know how it's gonna work, but some people don't, they still don't believe that without capping somebody or putting minimum of
you guys have to understand that the American economy, that's exactly how it's based. And this trucking industry, this is one industry that does not have this transparency. So essentially, it's not regulated right now as a free market. Once we open up the transparency and it can open up the free market and the rates can settle in, then that's when you're going to have that transparency.
Yeah, right.
We have
they're hiding from us. Yeah.
We have the Department of Justice criminal investigation. We're looking to open a class action lawsuit against these mega brokers, and we will announce it before we do. Right now, it's behind scenes, something that we're working on, and as I get more information, I will present it to you guys.
Okay. Yeah, don't forget about us, Serge.
Like I said, we are fighting this battle together. This is your guys' battle. We did this together, and the credit goes to the troops on the ground, the people that showed up on Constitution Avenue and fought their last battle. Because essentially, most of you guys, was your last battle.
I want two more things, Serge. People asking, are we going to set this a new, like, can we ask the government for help? For financial help for truckers? Are we going to set this package up and send it to them and ask for financial help for truckers or not?
Well, that's something we are going to look into. Yes, like I said, going into or presenting our case or our billboards that we had, it said we do not want government bailout. We want transparency. Once we get that transparency, or once we have an answer regards that transparency issue, we can present something else. But
yeah, because
shooting one thing and not getting an answer for it, and then shooting another thing, I believe it just will smear things.
Because while we're waiting for transparency, at least to help us truckers, can the government help us financially? While we're waiting for that problem to resolve. Because the epidemic brought this all greedy brokers.
When we had a lot of coach vans rolled in, asking for millions and millions of dollars of bailout, a lot of people within our community, a lot of people in the other communities kind of laughed at it, saying they're asking for money, and we're not asking for money. So I believe it's a right decision to fight one battle at a time. I don't see a problem presenting another agenda as well. However, let's hear back from the White House. Let's hear what they say in regards to what we're fighting first, what we presented to them in the White House, and then present something else thereafter. I believe that would be the right and the correct approach.
Okay. And also, who doesn't understand that a lot of people asking if we can cap the brokers, let's put minimum wage, like minimum miles, dollars per mile.
That's not gonna work. That's not free market. It's not gonna work. We have a low boys. We have step decks. We have dry vans. We have reefers. Total different equipment. Total different rates.
And also, they have to understand. They have to understand if you do this. If you put $2, it's going to be a win-win situation. You're going to screw yourself up. A lot of people are going to buy trucks because they know they never lost. They never lose. They're always going to get $2 a mile. And second of all, some of the shippers, it's going to be cheaper for them to send trucks out and then collect $2 a mile and come back home. So a lot of shippers going to quit selling the loads. They're going to ship and sell themselves.
Yeah, so another thing you guys have to understand, the law firm, one of the biggest law firms in U.S., one of the strongest law firms in U.S., that is presenting you guys. This law firm is actually the law firm that sued the state of California, because when the state of California came out and said, hey, you can't have 1099, everybody has to work W4. This is the law, W4, W2. This is the law firm that said, you know what? No, it's not going to happen. And they fought California, they fought Washington State. So you have to understand, we don't want labor industries involved or they're regulating you guys, the owner operators, the self-employed, community industry. You guys don't want that. You want the free market to set the rate, the percentage, and you want to get paid what you truly deserve. Because right now, what's happening is you're getting paid below minimum wage. You're getting abused. You're the one doing majority of the job, the majority of the work. You have bills for your truck, for your trailer. You have IFTA, you have insurance that is ridiculous. That's totally another different case that we may present to the White House about insurance and the rates that are ridiculous through the roof, killing the whole little
industry.
Little industry itself. What you have to understand that we have to fight one battle at a time. There's things that we can change in the industry, but we can change them only one time or one battle. Presenting it one battle at a time.
Okay. I guess this is it. So
we try to be impatient.
yeah, we're gonna wait and
Oh,
see.
we've been patient. We all left our wives, our families. We stood together strong in unity. And that's exactly what we need to do. Right now, we have our wives next to us. So you guys have that, moral support. Try to lean on it. It'll help.
Yeah. And don't be upset, Serge, about David, about all these questions, because it's not everything comes from his mind,
Yeah,
a lot of people,
questions.
for real, a lot of people keep asking us same questions, and we've been told talk about this through all the time. So don't be upset personally to Kamas or me.
No hard feelings.
Yep.
Yeah, we just talking what most people asking. So
we used our media to bring a lot of people to Washington D.C. to the streets. A lot of people trust me. A lot of people trust Vladimir and other guys, and they want to see the answers from us. And that's why good thing we did this video.
Come on.
Yo, I'm here.
I was wrong about that question Josh Tiger was asking CJ. And again, in full disclosure, this is not personal. The guy asked the question. I think CJ needs to answer the question to put it to bed. Josh Tiger's claiming that CJ and Mike were given $20,000 when they were at that meeting at the White House.
Yeah, the White
CJ,
House paid him $20,000.
Hey, Mark Meadows, where's my check?
$20,000.
This is my answer. This is my answer. Mr. President Donald Trump, Mark Meadows, where is my check? That's it.
Well, we had to ask the question. Thank you for the answering, guys. I really appreciate for your time.
What do you
really appreciate. What did you say, Charles? Charles.
I said he answered it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, if they paid me, I want my check, man. At least something.
Yeah, so we want a piece out of that check, definitely. We gotta pay some bills, yo. Anyways,
guys,
thank you very much, guys.
I truly believe this administration. I truly believe that our president, the greatest president that I believe will go in history as one of the greatest presidents in this country, he will get this job done, and he will make trucking great again. As long as we stay united and present one agenda at a time, one case at a time, we will win.
Yeah, we have to pray for it, definitely.
Let's continue this stream. If we will have good news from White House, let's do that stream again, and we'll talk about it and keep everybody posted.
I agree. That's not an issue on my end. Like I said, this is our battle, more your battle, because yes, I do drive from time to time, but we're fighting in it together. You guys are the ones but you guys are the backbone of this industry. You guys are the ones sweating, leaving your families and going out when COVID-19 hit. The president asked the drivers to get, hit the road and make sure there's food on the table for every house. You guys did it.
And he said, get the chance to go to White House.
God.
Yes,
we did. Yes, we did. You can't have everybody go to the White House. You can't have the president come to everybody. It's a big security risk, and we totally understand that.
No, Serge, but okay, I don't want to talk about. We can talk about this personally, though.
I know, Kamas. You're upset that you didn't go. I apologize.
My language is not that good to be in the White House. I wanted to see Roman or Kalyan or Levan. These guys, I would love to see in the White House. I don't want to be there. These guys, I want to see one of them over there. I believe them more than you, truly, because you're an easy log guy selling, and they're the drivers behind the wheel.
See, no, you're wrong. Come on, you are totally wrong right now, because just
you
like
said,
Charles,
be honest with yourself. I'm honest with myself.
Yeah, just like Charles mentioned, just like I mentioned, just like I mentioned, I'm the one that put everything at stake and went out there. I risked more than anybody else when I put aside Easy Logs, when I put aside all my other corporations that I own, when I went in there with the truckers, because I believed, and I still believe, once a trucker, always a trucker. And I'm not going to watch this industry go to waste. And now you're saying you don't believe me when everybody believed me from day one, and we went on this together. Yes, we had our miscommunication. Yes, we had our misunderstanding, but we united and we pushed our agenda forward. So it's very upsetting how you think about others. I think that it's about time that you start
not
working,
only my thoughts.
working on your trust, on your trust and on your belief. Well,
there's a lot of
yeah.
misinformation, and there's a lot of hidden things. That's why I don't believe when people are honest and they're open. There's nothing to hide. You don't want it to believe, but you believe because everything is there. But
okay,
there's a lot of hidden stuff.
Okay, since we're going this direction, let's open up all the cards. I trust Batushka. I trust Boris. I trust Anthony. I trust Charles and others, but I don't trust you. I was warned about you.
There's a lot of guys who could go.
Hold on. I was warned about you and about your fake agenda and your representation of blowing up your YouTube channel and your goal to use others that were there to promote your agenda. So if you want to talk truly who said, I'll present it to you. I have no blog, I have no YouTube, and I can care less about all that. I'm here fighting for the small guys. I called names, and I can say, yes, I've been speaking to the Senate, Congress. I've been to Senate and Congress many times. I fought for the new hours of service with Mike that were the proposed hours of service at that time that became into rule right now. I've been there. I've done that. I don't care about me. No.
Exactly.
My mission in life is to leave this life a better place when I go.
Exactly, Serge. You listen to your guys, to this Victor and everything. He's telling you the junk. I lost a lot of subscribers going there, and I don't care about my channel. I care about my industry. What I love to do, it's my passion. It's my everything I have, the trucking business. I went for Vladimir. I talked to him from day one, and I couldn't go in the beginning.
Vladimir is
so
a great
I put
guy.
my channel. I put everything on this battle. A lot of guys unsubscribed from me because it's all in English. They don't want to hear that. They want to see me driving. They want to see loading, unloading. I put everything I have on this to bring a lot of guys, a lot of people to there.
A lot of times when you wanted to go live, I said, "Go live." You know what to say, and I left.
Exactly.
For me, it's not about my image.
Tell me this.
It's not about my image. When I have something to say, I say it. If you already know what to say, why am I going to stand there and say it? You already know. So I go on.
You're telling me go do live?
I have no.
Tell people what happened. I don't know. I'm asking you. Show me some papers. Explain me what's going on so I know what to tell people. Yeah. And like I said, during this 2 weeks we was there, I had a lot of people unsubscribe on my channel. If I would be for my stupid channel there, I would leave this first day. I fighted it till the end, and I'm still fighting and will fight. And my YouTube channel, you can close the YouTube channel. I'm fighting for this industry because this is the way I make money for my family, support my family, you know. And the Batushka, he can tell you that.
Yeah,
all of us put the channels on this to help bring people as much possible to the Washington D.C. And this channel helped a lot.
Let's make sure your channel does not turn into CNN.
No, don't worry. If you trust me, trust him for sure.
I trust дядя с Калифорнии, некоторые другие, которые встали и сказали, sorry, I'm going in Russian now. The others that have stepped up their game and been talking. I have different thoughts about Kamaz. I put that agenda, everything aside, and I respected him when he was there. I worked with him when he was there. But when I see somebody, trying to push division, I will not support that. And like I said, with or without those people, we together, united, will win this battle. That's it.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you guys very much. I appreciate everybody for who tuned in. I really got like 2 more minutes. I have to go to dinner with my family. So any more questions?
Yeah. I just want to tell you that first time we use our channels to invite and to let more people that we can to come
No,
over.
nobody's talking about your
participate.
channel. No, nobody's talking about you. You have a lot of respect in this community.
No, about Kamaz, I'm talking about that we in the beginning
Sure.
was doing this from the bottom of our hearts. It's not just because
Some
of
people
channel.
think we're making YouTube famous.
No.
So funny.
If we go,
Good.
if we
You're
go,
a smart man. Don't listen, dog. Шавки. You know шавка? Don't listen your шавка, как Витек Империус. Это шавка. Не слушай таких людей. Be a real guy and be honest. We honest with you. Be honest with us. That's it.
I've been transparent from day one.
Sereg,
Just like when the government moved us from position 1 to position B, Batyushka said, maybe we should go to New York. I said, no, I have a message here. I showed him the message. It said, stand our ground. It was a move that was made. We need to stand here in front of the Capitol. The next day they came and they moved us back. Right? So we were transparent. Now we have people that are saying, including yourself, that are saying that we were not transparent. And that's bogus. That's not right. That's fake news.
There's a lot of guys, and I told you many times when he was there.
I don't care if it's guys.
The people who was there, you don't care about them. People who was on the street. No. Listen. People who was on the Constitution Avenue at evening, people gathered together and they're asking questions. What's next? What tomorrow? What's going on? Can you explain this? Why they're asking me? I don't know, because I was on the YouTube and calling people come to Washington D.C. and then I don't have nothing to answer. I don't have anything to say, and you don't give more information. You don't give us a lot of information.
Most of the people were asking Batyushka. They were asking him, and he was replying, and we had a direct communication. There was no miscommunication.
Batyushka, what?
We have
a
lot of questions as well, Serge. Don't put me in a good guy and Kamaz and a bad guy.
I got used to be bad guys, Serge. A lot of people listen to Shavka and think it's truth. It's fine. I'm totally fine with that.
Kamaz, you have to take the good and the bad.
Huh?
You have to take the good and the bad, man. That's the way to go.
There you go.
Just like I said,
puts everything on their own.
Hey, just like I said, I have nothing against your channel. I have nothing against you. Just make sure it does not become CNN.
Serge, here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna gather people who's asking questions, and I'm gonna make a video, and they're gonna ask you direct. So I'm gonna be on the side, and these people gonna ask you questions. The people who was there on the Constitution, who left their family and standing there.
That's fine. They have the right. They have the right to ask questions.
Exactly, they have a right for the questions,
and
they're gonna ask for those questions.
And we did we not answer all the questions? Or I mean, is there questions that are not answered?
I hope we answered all the questions we had right now. But like I said, if anybody gonna ask questions, I gonna send them to you straight. Like boom, ask this guy. I have no idea.
Yeah, no problem. We have that Viber chat. We can communicate there.
Yeah, you seen in the Viber chat. You even throw the Igor away from there or somebody because he's asking too many questions. He wants transparency.
He's asking the same question.
I mean, not Vital, what's his name? Victor. Why everybody was so hard on him? This guy helped us with the money. He's
a smart guy.
Before we even come to Washington D.C., Serge, before we even met with you, before we even gather people to Washington D.C., we did the stream with him. Victor, he helped a lot. He went to Washington. He was in Chicago doing a slow roll, paying for people's food and everything.
Did he bring at least one truck?
Did you brought any one truck?
Yes, I have majority of my customers that were there. Yes, majority of my customers that were there. Yes.
Okay. Did you brought your own truck?
No, I flew in.
Exactly.
But
Victor brought two.
I do not own a fleet of 200 trucks. I own 2 trucks.
Okay, but Victor brought as well his friends as well.
No, there is not one GSC Gold Star Carrier truck there.
There was no
that goes to majority of my customers as well.
You start getting mad. Why?
No, I'm
just
not mad.
Calm down.
I'm not mad. No, you want transparency? I will tell you transparency.
Did you have your truck there? I had your truck. No. Did you had your own truck in there?
No, I did not.
Same thing. He sent some guys.
I did way more than my one truck would have done.
But that's the question you asked it. But he helped as well. He helped us with the food. We was taking shower and everything for his son. You know,
Yeah,
Mike
this is
also
what
helped us.
this is what we're finding out right now, that he helped with funds. I don't recall what the amount was, but then we have people that are saying, "Hey, we did this," and this is exactly what we talked about before.
There's a lot of people who helped us
yeah.
to survive their search. A lot of
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
there's
okay,
like $10,000
I-
was
I-
donated to us to eat and everything. You know.
Okay. Are we gonna have that transparency of your PayPal, how much money you collected? and
Yes,
who-
yes, I
where it
have
was?
all
Okay.
transparency. Anybody
Please
have?
post
I
that.
have every
Everything.
single penny.
Okay.
Every single
Why
penny.
don't- Okay. What I would like to see that as well.
No problem. I'll email
Yeah.
you every single transaction.
Thank you.
That's no problem at all. It's all transparent and I have nothing to hide. And I was showing to guys also. And we still have money there for our stickers we want to make. $1,000-something. Everything
And
is
just like there's a lot of people talking, saying that, oh, I have so many files against brokers. I have so much information, and then those people don't end up sending not even one email to Department of Justice.
I understand, Serge. And here's I already talked to you personally
So
about it.
so yes, that will piss me off when we have Department of Justice investigating and people are not sending the information that needs to be sent.
Serge, remember me and you talked in the car and I said everybody was waiting for DOJ subpoena because people scared, and you have to understand.
First we were waiting for
finish.
Department of Justice investigation that just started last Tuesday.
No,
That investigation just started last Tuesday.
no. When we was there, you said we're waiting for subpoena because they're not
No,
going to start the investigation
we-
until they received
no.
a lot of papers.
We are waiting for an investigation, and there was no investigation until last Tuesday. The investigation just started last Tuesday. That's the first time I had a call, and I have the recorded call. I can post that call
Serge, see,
where the
now-
investigator called and
now
talked to me.
you're backing up out of it. We was waiting for subpoena. Everybody was waiting for subpoena. That's when I asked Victor to make this the website.
If you read the former complaint to the Department of Justice, the Antitrust Division, you will perfectly see that we were asking for a subpoena. However, I am not a prosecutor. I am not an
No.
FBI
I'm not
agent.
telling you you're supposed to
I am
make
not
this.
the Attorney General's office to issue such subpoenas. We're asking for it. We're waiting for it. The investigation has been started. It's there.
Yes,
have to wait.
Serge, you understand.
Yeah.
I was telling you about subpoena not because
See-
you
see,
were supposed to make one. No, let me finish, Serge.
So you're telling me that there's people with 1-2 trucks that are scared for
No,
their
Let me
side, or
finish,
there's
Serge.
people with
Let me
200
say a
trucks
word.
that are scared for their side, but yet I put everything on jeopardy, on the lines, and I stepped it up, and I'm not scared. Of course, I was scared in a way.
Okay, Serge. So here's the thing. We was asking people to send those packages where they waive our rights, where we waive our rights to ask for 37.1 transparency from brokers. And everybody started saying, hey, we're gonna blacklist it, we're gonna do this. So we decided to go and get subpoena. You know, we was waiting for subpoena. Now we still didn't get subpoena, but DOJ need more information, and people are scared because listen, Serge, let me finish. Listen, a lot of guys, most of the guys, they have 1 truck, maybe 2 trucks. So everything they're gonna put on the line, like as soon as they get blacklisted, they're gonna put the whole family and the whole business on line of death. You know, you have
I
a
understand.
business and you collecting money from your business. I understand it's good. You're making money, it's all good, but you don't have to blacklist yourself and lose a lot of money instantly. As soon as you put in a broker, put me in a blacklist, I lost 30% of my income, you know, and then another broker I ask, I get 60% blacklisted. That's it. My business is over. My family is done. You know, I can't survive, Serge. That's why you have to understand people, they're scared. And the subpoena is supposed to help them to get this information and help
If you're
you.
going live and you say you have a lot of information and you are willing to turn it in when the DOJ starts an investigation, that's who I'm calling out. And you know, I'm not going to mention names.
I know,
that's
but
what I want.
asked this person. He said you never asked for it.
Oh, so it's on his site. You guys created it on his site.
What do you mean?
The DOJ email, you worked with him creating the link on his landing page, and
Who
he
you
doesn't
talking
know
about?
about it?
One more time. One more time. I don't get what you're saying.
I'm talking about Victor from Gold Star.
What? Okay, what about him? He just made a website so people can copy the link to send
exactly.
it.
You said I never asked him because that's
No.
the person I was
asked
referring
him
to.
as soon as we did first video when I came to the Washington DC. We did the video, and then we said now we need to make it easier for people. So all we have to do is just copy a template, just pull your company name and send it to your brokers. We talked, all of our was there. So I asked one guy, he couldn't do it. Another guy, he couldn't do it. So I asked Victor, can you help me to get this so people can click on the link?
Why to date did he not send in any information? That he told you before you showed up. You guys had a Zoom call that he has a lot of information, a lot of abuse, a lot of.
I never said that. I never said that. Don't take my words. I was talking about
on your Zoom. On your Zoom.
Yes, yes.
I didn't say. So you ask him, Serge. Why are you asking me? I'm not nobody's secretary or anything. You know.
It's all good.
I'm telling you right now. I'm not gonna send it.
We agree to disagree.
No, I can't send my information because first of all, 2020, I hauled a lot of my loads was Landstar and some other guys. I'm not gonna blacklist it on them because it's my own family depends on those brokers, you know, and they're paying good to me. I never haul cheap freight, and I can't just go and get blacklisted. You know what I'm saying? Just to receive note, we're not gonna give you this transparency because I was waiting for that subpoena as a lot of other people, you know.
We're still waiting for the subpoena.
Let's hope we're gonna get the subpoena. Don't blame people. They don't do the job.
We are still no. If you're going publicly on record saying that you have this information, you're willing to turn it in.
Well, I never done that.
That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah, well, you talk to people who did this. Let them send it to you. You know, who publicly said they have information.
I personally, I don't need it. Department of Justice needs it. They asked for it. If you guys can forward it, that would be greatly appreciated.
There you go. But don't blame me that I have information and I promise you to send it. No, I was really literally waiting for that subpoena, and a lot of guys was waiting.
Where did you get all those license plates behind you?
Ah, you want some? my followers sent it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Serge, no hurt feelings. Seriously, we just want to be transparent, and we're fighting for. I'm fighting for my family. You know, this is the only source of income
fighting
I have.
For my family. I put everything in jeopardy, and I stepped up, and I will fight this battle to the end. That's it.
Yes, we're all gonna fight to the end, you know. But we gotta trust each other, you know, and be.
Well, if you have trust issues, work on them.
I don't. I trust myself. I trust Vladimir. I trust a lot of other guys, you know. But Serge, when I don't get information or false information, I stop trusting people, you know. And
so when did you get false information?
Serge, we're going in a circle. I already told you many times. Even information about the people who's going into the White House. There was nobody ever asked for truck drivers to go, and nobody. You said there is no limited cases.
Yes, that I exposed the email. Number one, number two.
It's limited to what?
I perfectly stated that we got invited to the White House. We didn't knock on their door. It's not like going to somebody else's house.
Yeah, I understand. But you
seems like you're a bit confused and butthurt that you didn't make it to the White House.
They already asked me. I told them I don't have that good English to go in the White House. I'm not the right guy to go there. There is another people are willing.
He was telling this from the beginning.
Serge, you're thinking that I'm mad that I didn't go to the White House. There is nothing for me to go there. And we talked right on the street.
I think you're butthurt that you didn't make it to the White House. Next time we go,
you think, but people heard me. I told them I'm not going in there. People heard me that I'm not going there, and you're
in the beginning
listening to your shavkas that somebody told you.
If it's be true, we was talking about Roman,
Nikolai, and then also Livan. These people, they speak better English. They're more knowledgeable. You know, these people can go there. But I ask you, did you ask Meadows about the seat? And you said, yeah, that they're not allowed. You know, this is false information. Nobody ever asked.
I asked about the attorney when that got rejected.
Then I don't care about who. I'm care about the driver.
Mike asked from his end. It was also rejected, just like he stated. So you can.
He didn't have enough time. He didn't have enough time. What we had 3 days, Serge.
So listen. You know when this started? Come on, when you went home for 2 days, and then you came back, and we were sitting on the corner.
Yeah.
And you came with a lie you lied to the whole community because you're a liar, and I can call you out. You're a liar. You
Tell-
lied to the whole community.
Prove I lied, and what?
Yes,
What did
the
I
whole
lie?
community, and I posted the email. I posted the email where
Yes,
it
I
said
read
that
this email
in
to
the morning,
everybody.
in the morning, when the secretary Eliza posted that, hey, we're working on setting up a meeting with the White House from
Yeah.
this time to this time. You said that you had information that this meeting was going to happen on Monday. That is
Yes.
a lie. You
It's
never
not
had
a
such
lie.
information. You never had
Oh,
such information.
See,
And it's 100%. I tell you 100%. I speak to everybody. He
here
did not have this information because
I
that
told this
information
information that
never
here's the
came.
camera, and here is what
Yes.
it says: Monday, 9:30 a.m. Am I lying? I knew about this Monday. I mean, I'm sorry.
That's my
This is-
email. That's my email that I posted when I got on Monday. Yeah.
This
on
this
Monday.
is the second. Sorry, Serge. This is second. The first one. You showed the first email when it says Monday at 10:30. So there was supposed to be a meeting. So it's
No,
true.
no,
What do you mean no, Serge?
Mark Meadows left with the president to Camp David, and the email that I showed, that he said that we will. I showed to Bachka, other people there, that he said
You
that
showed
let's
me
wait
this
till
email
Monday.
too.
Let's a Monday, and they will try to move things forward on Monday. Let's wait to Monday. That's what I said on Monday morning. The email that you just showed. That's the email I got from the
No, the
secretary.
first email was 10:30. You're supposed to have a meeting at 10:30 Monday morning. I mean Monday evening. 10:30. I'm sorry, 1:30. 1:30 Monday. You're supposed to have the meeting.
That's the email we got on Monday.
Yeah,
Monday
that's what
morning,
I'm saying.
Yeah,
But
you said you had information 3 days
yeah,
prior.
yes, I had the information.
Wow.
Serge,
Wow. You must
That-
have very high connections.
Listen. I'm not calling out that I'm, somebody called me and says, make sure, listen to this, Serge, listen carefully. Somebody called me and said, make sure Serge is going to White House. It's exactly the words they told me. Make sure Serge is going to White House. I'm like, what do you mean? They said, yes, Monday it's going to be meeting and they calling out people there. So I called you. You didn't answer. So I said, hope Serge knows about it and he's not our group is not left out. I was worried about your butt, Serge. And when I came there, I said, Serge, did you know about this?
Do you have that in writing? Do you have that in writing?
What, my words with the guy? He don't even tell anybody who I am and why I called you. He asked me, did Serge knows about it? I called few people and they told me, yeah, something's supposed to be coming on Monday.
You must have very high intelligent information.
Sunday night, Serge. Sunday
Everybody
night.
have their own stuff, but that's not lie. You calling me liar, and what the hell you're doing? And truth.
I am
It's
calling you a
true.
liar because you called me out and you said that you knew. That was your words. You said you knew.
And you answered me what?
That's a lie.
No,
That's a lie. Because I did not know.
I asked you the question. Did you know? You said no. I got this mail today. I'm like, what do you mean today? You're like, yeah, I just received. I'm like, what did you say on? Why did you told me on Friday that Monday, Tuesday you're gonna be?
You made a face, Josh. You're like, like I'm lying. And,
Sure. See, now you're going to a personal thing. Come on, be
Sunday. When I found out,
you're telling me lie. I knew about this meeting on Friday.
Yes.
I knew about it. It doesn't mean you knew about it. That's why I wanted to be sure you are aware of it and you're going in there. And our group is not left out.
We can really use your resources, that high intelligence resources that you have from NSA. Cluing you in on.
A guy called me and he asked me this question. So I was worried about. See how you're thinking. See how you're thinking. That's your thing to me when I was worried about you.
You're doing this personally. You already
It's personal, yeah. Because he got Shavka Victor, that's Shavka tells him a lot. I know this Victor since 2015.
Guys, I don't listen to nobody. I have my own opinion. If you say you don't trust,
you wouldn't listen to this guy, you would be different.
You say so you're telling me if it wasn't for Victor and you would say you don't trust me,
Victor told you a lot of crap. A lot. I know about it.
Come on.
We know
You're
Victor
truly smart man.
a lot.
You're really true smart man. And if I wouldn't believe you completely, I wouldn't use my YouTube to help you. I would not.
So, one thing I would ask you, please expose the donations how much money was
Yes,
left,
yes,
how much
no
money
problem.
was
It's
spent.
yes, yes.
And then I just hope that you don't turn into CNN, because that's the route we're going.
No, no, no.
And
I'll
if
expose
it doesn't happen,
every name
we can
who
use
donated as
your
well.
channel. If it does happen, then we will have to use other channels to get to the people.
I'm working with the truck drivers, not the
thank
people
you,
who
guys.
want to take a credit. You know.
Stay blessed. Once again, happy birthday to Mark. Happy Memorial Day. Yesterday, I
What
hope you
Mark?
guys had
Who's Mark?
good times with families. Rick. Sorry.
Rick, yes,
Rick.
yes. Rick San
I
Diego.
hope you guys had a good time yesterday. Spent some quality time with your families. Stay blessed.
We all
will
did.
win
Same to you.
this battle. I love you guys. We will beat this battle.